Hello, and welcome to the Kitty Cat Lane. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different from my previous videos, which is talking you through my process of upgrading and updating my fursonas design. Thulia is the name of my bunny fursona slash mascot, and I always wanted to make her part dragon, but I never got the design to look exactly how I wanted it. So, at the time, I decided to just get the bunny part figured out first, since that's the main part of her species, and where I was having the most trouble. So for the redesign, I start off with a sketch of Thulia in this default pose that I usually do when I'm drawing a character for the first time, and then I duplicated it to be able to experiment with what changes I wanted made. Since I basically already knew what I wanted, it was pretty easy to quickly sketch out the dragon parts. The hardest part was figuring out how I wanted her horns to grow and what shape I wanted them to form. In the end, I settled with this. Basically, for this update, I just took her old design and gave her some dragon accessories. I also made the proportions a little more human-like, unintentionally. I think the next time I draw a more detailed drawing of her, I'll make her proportions somewhere between the new and old designs. After I figured out what I wanted and had it kind of sketched out, I decided to do some cute little poses on the side since the main one was kind of boring and basically just there for reference. I spent a little more time on this first extra pose than I did on the others because at the time I wasn't sure how many poses I wanted to do, but in the end I just kind of shrunk this one down and did 3 more. And after I got these cute little poses down, I go back over them with the pencil again on a separate layer. Normally I would do a pin that has like a texture to it, but for this redesign, since I already kept it kind of sketchy and loose, I decided to just go back over it with the pencil again to keep that kind of doodle sketch page vibe that I was already starting to go for. And while I'm talking about poses, personas, and mascots and whatnot, I do plan on soon making some more little reaction sprites for Lane down here because I pretty much just have 2 poses and each have 3 different eyes. There's like a happy closed eyes, a kind of more relaxed closed eye, and then open eyes, plus the open and closed mouth for each of those. But I really only made those to just get started. They're pretty simple, and I didn't plan on using them for a very long time, but I just haven't gotten around to doing more yet, but I plan on doing that soon because, as I mentioned earlier, this little default pose with kind of one hand to the side and one hand up in this 3/4 position, it's like the same pose as one of the 2 poses that Lane has down here. It's a nice, like, I'm gesturing up towards the video, can't you see what I'm talking about? But I do want something that's more animated and expressive and fun. So very soon I'll be having a little upgrade for her as well. So back to working on Thulia's redesign. I basically keep the same color palette with the pink and the green and then the turquoise aqua color clothing, but for the dragon parts I made them more green to call back to her hair and how it looks like a dragon fruit, which I think is really fun because I wanted her to have dragon parts, and now that she does, I think it's even cuter. Hey, Fluffy! I don't know if it picked up. It may or may not have gotten her, but she did a little brrr. It was really cute. And now her and Junior are on the ground on my hoodie that I laid out for them. I'll see if I can get a picture. Okay, I got the picture. Oh, and she just moved, so perfect timing. She's not really on the hoodie, but she had her little paws reaching out to touch it. By the way, I normally rotate between Zinnia and Junior for the secret kitty at the end of the video. Don't tell anyone. But I rotate between them, and I call Zinnia Fluffy sometimes. So if I say Fluffy, just know that I also mean Zinnia. So, very good, very cute kitties. Oh, you're gonna have 2 kitty pictures in this video. I'm still gonna have one at the end, but don't tell anyone. It's secret. It's a secret kitty picture. But anyway, back to the topic of redesigning Thulia for a lot of the dragon parts. Like I said, I have green, but I also went in on some of her light pink bits and kind of have a little green poking through, because I imagine that her skin, or at least some of her skin, is kind of green, kind of pinky green, and I thought it'd be cool if in some of the parts where her fur is shorter, you can maybe see some of the green peeking through, and it is similar to how I shaded the original one. And for her outfit, I kept it the same colors, but I did simplify it just for this little doodle. And apologies for going back and forth between the reference picture and the art. In hindsight, I probably should have swatched the color or color picked it and just put it on the side of the canvas. That's probably what I'll do next time. But for this, I just had Thulia on a separate canvas and I switched between the two of them, going back and forth. So sorry if it's a little distracting to suddenly go back over to her here and then, but hopefully it's not too distracting. The only new color I ended up giving her was the darker green for the claws and horns parts of her dragon parts, because I wanted some more green, but I didn't want that same green to be kind of overpowering, so I just took a little bit darker green and put that in there, because there was a lot of pink before. I do really like pink. I think pink and green work well together. I think it's a fun, bright, exciting color palette. But yeah, I really like how she turned out in the end. This is more how I always imagined her. I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope it was fun to watch. Hopefully you'll come back and take another walk down the kitty cat lane with me. Before you go, here's your super secret kitty. Have a great day. Bye.